I didn't become a victim of a false allegation when it happened to me. I became another recruit in the war against it.
My family and my name have been totally and permanently destroyed.
Is morphing into a witch hunt.
They'll always be presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty.
Welcome to Salem's Ghost. I'm John Victor Ramses. In this video, I would like to read for you a poignant letter written by a condemned father to his daughter on July 24, 1628, just prior to being executed for the made-up crime of being a witch. The father's name was Johannes Junius, a resident of Bamberg, Germany, during the ruthless age of European witch trials. This letter is widely known among witch trial historians, but not so well known among the general public. In this letter, I would hope you take note of the unbelievable cruel tactics used by human beings, members of our community, against other human beings, especially the genuinely innocent, in order to force a false admission of guilt to a crime they were merely accused of. These cruel individuals were the police, prosecutors, jailers, and even doctors of the day. Members of the community who were meant to protect the community, but who were instead employed to serve an agenda and maintain the status quo. As you listen to the letter, you might be grateful that such cruel people and deeds are long past. But you'd be wrong. History always repeats. And it is well underway now. The new witch, of course, is the merely accused sex offender, and who were treated in no different manner by the said same cruel individuals as were those once accused of witchcraft. And what I would hope you also take away from the letter I'm about to read is what it is like for a person wrongly accused to be sitting in jail. The torment on him and his family does not end. It continues forever. There are presently countless good, innocent fathers, sons, and brothers sitting in jail due to a deliberate and intentional false allegation of a sexual nature. I knew many of them during my time in an Australian prison. I read their cases in detail, and they are, like me, innocent by fact, but they can never get their cases heard in a court. Why? Because it's political. One last thing before I read the letter of Johannes Junius. If you're in Australia and you know my daughter Amy, please tell her I love her and that I never left her. Her daddy was taken. And now, a father's letter to his daughter. A father's letter to his daughter, July 24, 1628. Many 100,000 good nights, dearly beloved daughter Veronica. Innocent have I come to this prison. Innocent have I been tortured. Innocent must I die. For whoever comes to the witch prison must become a witch or be tortured until he invents something out of his head, and God pity him, bethinks him of something. I will tell you how it's gone with me. When I was the first time put to the torture, Dr. Braun, Dr. Katzendorfer, and two strange doctors were there. Then Dr. Braun asked me, "Kinsman, how have you come here?" I answered, "Through falsehood, through misfortune." "Hear you," he said. "You are a witch. Will you confess it voluntarily? If not, we will bring in witnesses and the executioner for you." I said, "I am no witch. I have a pure conscience in the matter. If there are 1,000 witnesses, I am not anxious, but I will gladly bear the witnesses." Now the chancellor's son was set before me, and afterward Hopfen Elsa. She had seen me dance on Hop's moor. I answered, "I have never renounced God, and will never do it. God graciously keep me from it. I'd rather bear whatever I must." And then came also, God in highest heaven have mercy, the executioner. And he put the thumbscrews on me, both hands bound together, so that the blood ran out of my nails and everywhere, so that for 4 weeks I could not use my hands, as you can see from the writing. Thereafter they first stripped me, bound my hands behind me, and drew me up in torture. Then I thought heaven and earth were at an end. 8 times did they draw me up and let me fall, so that I suffered terrible agony. And this happened on Friday, June 30. And with God's help, I had to bear the torture. When at last the executioner led me back into the prison, he said to me, "Sir, I beg you, for God's sake, confess something, whether it be true or not. Invent something, for you cannot endure the torture which you will be put to. And even if you bear it all, yet you will not escape, not even if you were an earl. But one torture will follow another, and another, until you say you are a witch. But not before that," he said, "will they let you go, as you have seen by all their trials, for one is just like another." And so I begged, since I was in wretched plight, to be given 1 day for thought, and a priest. The priest was refused me, but the time for thought was given. Now, my dear child, see in what hazard I stood, and still stand. I must say that I am a witch, though I am not. Must renounce God, though I have never done it before. Day and night I was deeply troubled, but at last there came to me a new idea. I would not be anxious, but, since I had been given no priest with whom I could take counsel, I would myself think of something and say it. It were surely better that I just say it with my mouth and words, even though I had not really done it. And afterwards I would confess it to the priest, and let those answer for it who compelled me to do it. And so I made my confession as follows, but it was all a lie. Now follows, dear child, what I confessed in order to escape the great anguish and bitter torture, which was impossible for me to longer bear. Then I had to tell what people I had seen at the witch Sabbath. I said I had not recognized them. "You old rascal," I heard a voice, "I must set the executioner at you. Say, was not the chancellor there?" So I said yes. "And who besides?" I had not recognized anybody. So he said, "Take one street after another. Begin at the market. Go out on the street and back on the next." I had to name several persons there. Then came the long street. I knew nobody. Had to name 8 persons there. Then the Zinkenfurt, 1 person more. Then over the upper bridge to Jorthor on both sides. Knew nobody again, did I know nobody in the castle, whoever it might be, I should speak without fear. And thus continuously they asked me on all streets, though I could not and would not say more. So they gave me to the executioner, told him to strip me, shave me all over, and put me to the torture. The rascal knows one more in the marketplace, is with him daily, and yet he won't name him. By that they meant Dietmeier, so I had to name him too. Then I had to tell what crimes I had committed. I said nothing. "Draw the rascal up," a voice demanded. So I said that I was to kill my children, but I had killed a horse instead. It did not help. I had also taken a sacred wafer and had desecrated it. And when I had said this, they left me in peace. Now, dear child, here you have all my confessions for which I must die, and they are sheer lies and made-up things, so help me God. For all of this I was forced to say, through fear of torture, which I was threatened beyond what I had already endured, for they never leave off with the torture till one confesses something. Be he never so good, he must be a witch. Nobody escapes, though he were an earl. Dear child, keep this letter secret, so that people do not find it, else I shall be tortured most piteously, and the jailers will be beheaded. So strictly is it forbidden. Dear child, pay this man $1. I have taken several days to write this. My hands are both lame, and I am in such a sad plight. Good night, for your father, Johannes Junius, will never see you more. July 24, 1628. A P.S. Dear child, 6 have confessed against me at once. The Chancellor, his son, Neudecker, Zehner, Hofmeisters, Ursel, and Hopfen Elsa, all false through compulsion, as they have told me, and begged my forgiveness in God's name before they were executed. They know nothing but good of me. They were forced to say it, just as I myself was.